Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Musa Dube with a request that you confer on her the degree Doctor of Theology, honoris causa. The decision by Council and Senate to award this degree has been taken based on the following considerations. As an African post-colonial feminist theologian, Professor Dube has pioneered a new way of reading the Bible in pursuit of justice for all, including women, nations still affected by the consequences of colonization, as well as people living with HIV and AIDS. Born in Botswana to Zimbabwean parents who had migrated to escape colonial rule, Dube obtained a master's degree at Durham University in the United Kingdom and a PhD at Vanderbilt University in the United States. Since then, this professor of New Testament at the University of Botswana has established herself as one of the leading voices in post-colonial biblical interpretation, authoring numerous books and playing a key part in organizations such as the Circle of Concerned African Women Theologians, the World Council of Churches, and the Society of Biblical Literature. Profoundly attuned to the unique needs and concerns of a local context, Dube has throughout her writings recognized the importance of grassroots readings of the Bible that engage with the indigenous culture of readers on the African continent, particularly women. A milestone achievement in this regard was the publication under her leadership titled Other Ways of Reading African Women and the Bible, which showcases the unique contribution of African women's theologies. A concern for the continent she calls home has also seen her advocate a post-colonial biblical interpretation that seeks to enhance decolonization as an integral part of the struggle for liberation. Moreover, Dube does not shy away from addressing the crucial issue of the response of churches to HIV and AIDS. Through her writings, she firstly continues to hold churches accountable for failing to respond adequately to the pandemic that has wreaked havoc on the continent, fearlessly proclaiming, and I quote, "The church has AIDS," unquote. In 2002, she sought to foster a sense of solidarity in church communities, challenging churches across the continent to transcend denominational divides in order to fight HIV and AIDS in their communities. Secondly, Dube has challenged African churches to proclaim life amidst the debilitating effects of the disease. This includes showing care and compassion, integrating individuals living with HIV and AIDS back into their communities, and stressing the need for antiretroviral drugs for all affected. Thirdly, this formidable scholar has championed the use of song, drama, and poetry in the battle against HIV and AIDS on the continent, retrieving true African cultural practices and oral theology for this purpose. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, Professor Dube epitomizes socially engaged biblical scholarship, harnessing advanced critical study, and as part of that, employing from her African culture to challenge readers of theology to read the Bible in new, refreshing, and responsible ways. Stellenbosch University honors this theologian, activist, this remarkable daughter of our continent. I hereby request that you confer the degree Doctor of Theology, honoris causa, on Professor Musa Dube.
I hereby confer on you, Musa Dube, the degree Doctor of Theology, honoris causa.
Professor Wim de Villiers, Rector and Vice-Chancellor of Stellenbosch University, Council of Deans, Professors, and Lecturers of Stellenbosch University, dignified guests, the graduating class of 2017 and their parents, family and friends, fellow recipients of honorary doctorate degrees, ladies and gentlemen gathered here, good morning. I am greatly honored and humbled to be a recipient of an honorary doctorate from your illustrious university at this moment of its history, celebrating 100 years of existing, educating, and self-transformation. As a little girl, my mother used to read just one book, the Bible. I did not read it, for I was a child busy with my agenda of playing. But like any other child, I also frequently went to find my mother to get some love, sitting quietly beside her. She would start narrating her favorite biblical story to me about Mary Magdalene, the woman who ran to the grave of Jesus to anoint his dead body and came back proclaiming that he is risen from the dead. When I finally began to read my mother's favorite book, I later learned that prior to Mary Magdalene, one man named Ezekiel was sent to preach to a whole valley full of dry, dead bones. Ezekiel was told that the valley of these dry, dead bones were the whole house of Israel who felt hopeless due to the exile they had experienced. He was instructed to preach to the dry, dead bones until they come back to life. Little did I realize then that my mother's story of resurrection had captivated me. I have now spent 3 decades of my career thinking through scriptures and working for resurrection. Like Ezekiel, I've been shown many valleys of dry, dead bones, bodies whose life had been sapped away by gender, race, class, sexuality, age, health, ethnic, and other social constructions and structures that reduce the dignity of people to nothing. Moreover, I've been struggling to embrace the assignment of Ezekiel and hoping that, like Mary Magdalene, I can run away with joy to proclaim life where there was death. I wish to congratulate all of you, the class of 2017, who are graduating, for the degrees that you have earned from various disciplines and specialties. The world awaits and needs you. Go out there and light the world where the forces of death are persistently rising to rob individuals and communities of their God-given life. The graves of poverty, gender inequality, racial discrimination, ethnic strife, global warming, violence, global class, HIV and AIDS, national corruption, neoliberalism, human trafficking, stigma and discrimination, among many other evils, await your work of resurrection. Again, I congratulate you and your lecturers for your hard work, and thank you for inviting me to be a fellow graduate of Stellenbosch University for the class of 2017. God bless you.